Have you ever listened to financial news and felt like they're speaking a totally different language? Yeah, me too. Well, today we're going to crack that code. We're going to demystify some of finance's most complex terms, and we're going to do it with a really simple and, let's be honest, pretty delicious analogy: bananas. So, to help us out on this journey, we've got a guide. He's a very ambitious monkey who, is pretty smart, but he just doesn't know the lingo. And his goal? It's actually pretty simple. He wants to learn all these smart words so he can impress his friends at his next monkey dinner party. Let's dive in. All right, first things first. Before we can even think about growing our banana pile, we have to know how to count it, right? So this first part is all about the words that describe your own personal stash. It's about figuring out what you have, what you owe, and what you're really worth in this big financial jungle. Let's start with an easy one, an asset. It's just a fancy word for any valuable thing you own. It could be your banana phone, maybe your banana house, or even stocks you own in the big banana company. All that stuff, those are your assets. Okay, so on the flip side of that coin, we have liabilities. And these are basically your debts, all the things you owe to other monkeys. We're talking about that loan for your sweet banana car, your student loans from Jungle University, or, that credit card bill that keeps getting bigger from, well, buying too many bananas. So really, it all just comes down to this simple balance. You've got your assets on one side. That's all the stuff you own. And on the other side, you've got your liabilities, everything you owe. And understanding how these two play together, that is absolutely key to your financial health. And that brings us to a really important one, your net worth. The formula here is super simple. Just take your assets and subtract your liabilities. So you take all the stuff you own, subtract all the stuff you owe, and whatever's left over, bam, that's your net worth. In this case, our monkey's doing pretty good with a net worth of 200,000 leaves. And of course, there's the day-to-day stuff, the flow of leaves. You've got income, that's the leaves coming in from your job, and you've got expenses. That's all the leaves you spend on things like rent, bills, and yeah, you guessed it, more bananas. Okay, so now that we know how to count our bananas, let's get to the fun part, making that pile grow. This next section is all about how you can put your leaves to work for you. We're talking about investing. First up, a word you hear all the time, stock. So what is it really? When you buy a stock in, say, the banana company, you're not just handing over your leaves. No way. You are actually buying a tiny, tiny piece of that company. That's right. You become a part owner. Now, with any investment, there are really only two ways it can go when you sell. If you sell that banana stock for more than you paid for it, that's a capital gain. Awesome. But if you sell it for less, that's a capital loss. And that right there is the basic risk and reward of investing. All right, this next one is a super important strategy. You've probably heard that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Well, in the jungle, that translates to don't put all your leaves into just bananas. This is called diversification. You put some leaves into bananas, some into coconuts, some into apples. That way, if the banana market totally tanks, you don't lose everything. So a hedge is kind of like a specific, more targeted type of diversification. Think of it as an insurance policy for your investment. Let's say you're worried a huge storm is coming that could wipe out all the banana trees. Well, you might invest in some coconuts as a hedge, just in case your main banana investment gets destroyed. Okay, let's get into a more advanced move here, shorting a stock. This is wild. It's basically making a bet that a stock's price is going to go down. So how does it work? You borrow some bananas, let's say 10 of them. You immediately sell them at the current high price, maybe for 100 leaves. Then you wait. If you're right and the price drops, you buy those 10 bananas back for, say, only 50 leaves. You return the 10 bananas you borrowed, and you get to keep the 50-leaf difference. It's super risky, but yeah, it can definitely pay off. Leverage. The name kind of says it all. It's like using a financial lever. You borrow leaves from the monkey bank so you can invest way more than you actually have. The goal? To amplify your potential profits. But, and this is a huge but, that lever works both ways. It can also amplify your losses just as easily. It is the absolute definition of high risk, high reward. So, what happens if that big, risky, leveraged bet goes wrong and you can't pay back the leaves you borrowed? Well, that's called a default, and it's not good. It's a really serious situation that can mess up your financial reputation for a long, long time. All right, let's pull back and look at the big picture. All of these individual monkey decisions are important for sure, but they're all happening inside a much, much larger system. So now we're going to talk about the big market forces, the rules of the whole jungle that affect everyone. You'll always hear people talking about the mood of the market. There are two main flavors. A bull market is when the whole jungle stock market is generally going up. Everyone's optimistic. Think of a bull charging forward, horns up. Then you have a bear market. That's the opposite. The market is generally going down and everyone's getting pessimistic. Think of a bear swiping its paw downwards. Volatility. This one just measures how wild and jumpy the market is. So if a banana's price stays pretty steady, that's low volatility. But if the price is jumping all over the place, like from 5 leaves down to 2, then rocketing up to 10 in just a couple of days, whoa, that is some high volatility. Okay, market cap, it sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's just short for market capitalization, which is a fancy way of saying the total value of a company. The math is easy. You just take the price of one share and multiply it by the total number of shares out there. That's it. It's a quick way to see how big a company is. So who's actually in control of the market? Well, if one single company controls all the bananas, that's a monopoly. They can pretty much charge whatever they want it. But if it's just a handful of big companies that control all the bananas, that's an oligopoly. There's a little competition, but not a whole lot. All right, now we're getting into the really abstract stuff, derivatives. A derivative isn't something you can hold, like a banana. It's a contract, and its value is derived from something else, like the future price of bananas. It's basically a complicated bet on which way the price of something is going to go. Okay, so let's get back to our monkey. He's at the dinner party, he's learned all these new words, and someone asks him this super deep, complicated question about the state of the world. He's got all this new vocabulary ready to go, so what does he say? Arbitrage. Oh yes, indeed. Perfect. It's a real word, sure, but he uses it completely out of context. You know what? It's the confidence that sells it. Our monkey did it, goal achieved. And hey, now you can too. Look, the whole language of finance can seem super intimidating, but as you just saw, when you break it all down, it's kind of just a big conversation about bananas. So go impress your friends with your new fancy big brain words.